Hi, this is Seth Wild from SonicElectronics.com, and today we're going to talk a little bit about selecting car speakers. If you're in the market for getting a new pair of speakers for your car, it's important to know some of the options out there. So today we're going to talk about selecting a coaxial speaker versus a component system. First thing we're going to talk about are the coaxial speakers. Right here we have a pair of the Kicker KS650s. The Kicker KS650 is a great example of a traditional coaxial speaker. Right here is with the grill. We're going to take that off so you can see the speaker here. The main purpose behind coaxial speakers is having one what they call full range speaker. So basically one speaker with your midwoofer and your tweeter connected. So it's all one speaker, one install. These are made ideally for vehicles that just have one speaker in the door panel. You can just put this in and you have your full range of frequencies. Now on the back of the speaker, you'll notice that there's only one terminal, your positive, negative here, and then these, from this input, it runs through a crossover to separate your high frequencies to go to the tweeter. And it's run up through here and through the bottom of the magnet to the tweeter, and then the others go to the woofer. So you have one input here and a small built-on crossover, and that way you can get all the frequencies you need in one speaker. So that's the main purpose behind a coaxial speaker. Now, one of the advantages of having a coaxial speaker is the location of the sound. You have your tweeter and your woofer playing from the same location, so the sound's coming from the same point in the car. That's something a little bit different with the component systems. That can be an advantage, or it can also be a disadvantage, depending on how your install goes. But speaking of component systems, over here we have the Precision Power 356 CS component system. So here we have the mid-range speaker, or the woofer, and right now we have a grill on it. So we can take that off so we can see just the woofer here. And also it's going to come with a tweeter, which is separate from the mid-range speaker, as well as any tweeter installation accessories, and also a crossover here. Now this one's a little bit larger than most crossovers, but that's good. In here we have the speaker inputs, and over here we have the speaker outputs. So basically you have your inputs from your amplifier and your outputs, which are going to go to your tweeter and to the woofer. And now this is going to separate those frequencies, similar to the coaxial speaker, except that with a larger crossover it's able to do it much more efficiently, and it's going to sound a lot better. Now if we go over and talk about the tweeter, you'll notice that the tweeter, like I say, it is separate than the mid-range speaker, and it's made so it can be mounted wherever you need to. If your car already has a tweeter in there, you can usually just switch out that tweeter and put in the new one, as long as the size is right. But it also comes with different mounting options. Here we have it in the case for a surface mount. But you'll notice on the back of the tweeter here, all it has is the speaker wire that comes from the back. Now this speaker wire is going to run into the crossover, so it's only receiving the frequencies that the tweeter will play. It's a lot more efficient to do it this way than usually it is with the coaxial speakers. Now if we go over to the full range speaker here, you'll notice that there's no tweeter in the middle because the tweeter is separate, and all you have is the cone for the mid-range speaker. Now on the back, where the terminal is, this particular speaker has screwed terminals, but you have your input terminals here, and those go right to the woofer. They don't have to run through another crossover like they did on the coaxial speaker. Now, this particular one has a couple different ways for mounting the tweeter. For example, this piece here, this is something that will come with select component systems. And what this is for is that you can mount your tweeter on the mid-range speaker. So some of them you'll be able to do this. And what this does is when you screw this on, is it's able to put the tweeter and the woofer in the same location, so you're still getting a more efficient crossover, yet you're going to have an angled tweeter, and you just mount the tweeter right in here. So you can get the sound coming from the same location. Depending on your install, this might be the best way to get the most or the best sound out of your system. So again, it depends on the install. But overall, these are the main differences between component systems and coaxial speakers. If your car just has one speaker in the door panel, the coaxial speaker is probably the way to go. It's a much easier, much more simple install. The component system can sound better. It's a more advanced install, a lot more stuff. You have to put a crossover in there, mounted remotely. Some vehicles that already have tweeters, the component system is going to be the way to go. Overall, both of them sound great depending on your vehicle and your particular setup. And these are coaxial and component speakers. My name is Seth Wild, and this is SonicElectronics.com.